Yo guys, Spiderbot here, and I wanted to go back to the Dead Space 3 demo and take a look at the weapons. And if you go into your main menu in the demo, solo campaign, you get the menu option down at the very bottom called weapon crafting. What this does is brings you into a room. It's basically like a test room or a practice room where you can go in and you can build custom weapons. You can build anything you want. And here's the room description. Use it to test out thousands of deadly tools and weapons as it can craft. Enter the bench to begin crafting, then use a nearby switch to test your weapon on enemies. You have unlimited health, ammo, and stasis while in this room. So you can build your custom epic weapons and then signal in some necromorphs. We're gonna actually signal in some necromorphs just with the plasma cutter here in a second. But they come through that doorway, so you just hit the switch here, and here they come. No, we don't. Oh my god. Yeah, there is no secondary fire on the plasma cutter. Basically, it just changes your fire pattern from horizontal to vertical and vice versa. So we've got a few more necromorphs coming in here, and we're going to go into the workbench and actually create some new weapons and just see how much variability they've added into the weapon crafting. Previously, there were only certain weapons that you could craft from blueprints. And then you had these node patterns that you could go into to upgrade for your reload speed, your ammo capacity, your damage, and your fire rate. So Dead Space 3 has actually expanded upon that a great deal, and you can create thousands of custom weapons. So we're going to take a look here. So you've got the weapon crafting menu to build new weapons or modify your current arsenal. The blueprints menu, you can build weapons from recipes you have found or maybe received from your co-op partner. You've got the weapon upgrades, which affect reload speed, damage, clip size, and fire rates. You can craft items like your health packs, ammo, stasis packs, and of course the safe, so that you can switch your inventory, because you can only carry so much in your rig, and that's going to vary depending on what rig you have equipped at the time. So we're just taking a quick look at the weapon building menu. You can see the variability here. We have upper tool, lower tool, which represents your primary and secondary fire modes, and we can take a look at the weapon blueprints that are available. When we go into customizing our own weapon, once we've completed it, we can actually create our own blueprint, and those blueprints then become available in this menu, and you can share it with your co-op partner if you're playing co-op. And even if you do create a weapon from one of these blueprints, you can go into the weapon customization and modify everything you want. So we're going to go and take a look at one of our current weapons here, and you can see with the upgrade circuits, you have 4 slots available, or 4 nodes available for your upper tool as well as your lower tool. So we're going to go into weapon crafting, and we're going to modify our current weapon, the Compact Elite Plasma Cutter, and just see what options are available. Now, the frame actually impacts the entire weapon and is where you start. So if I take an existing weapon and I want to change the frame, right now we have the compact standard frame, which is for a single-handed weapon. And then we also have the heavy standard frame, which is for two-handed weapons. When you switch frames, because right now on our plasma cutter we have the compact standard frame for the single-handed weapon, if we switch frames, it dismantles the entire weapon, because that's your base. It's the entire frame, that's what everything's connected to. So you change the frame, you got to dismantle your entire weapon, and then you begin by selecting your upper tool. There are quite a few options here, and if you watch the upper tool stats with the damage, reload, clip, and speed, you can see how each upper tool affects or impacts each of those statistics. So it really depends on what kind of weapon you want to build. You want to go for high damage, then select the upper tool that's going to give you high damage. You want to have a complementary lower tool, then go with something that has like a higher reload speed and a higher clip capacity, perhaps. You know, something that's really going to complement the other. And keep in mind that you get 2 weapons. You can actually have 2 weapons equipped, although you can make or create or craft as many weapons as you want and just have them in your inventory or your safe. So we're looking at the tip, and we've got a repeater. It produces a fully automatic weapon. Precision tip, higher damage. Again, higher damage, lower clip, lower speed. Compressor, directed suspension field. So we're going to look at a precision tip. So the weapon we're building right now, I'm going to go with a high damage weapon. I'm going to speed up the rest of the build process, but it gives you a good idea of exactly what kind of customization can be found here in Dead Space 3 weapon crafting. And it's when you're actually playing through the game, if you saw in the demo, that's where you're collecting those raw materials that allow you to create these weapons, craft these items. And here we're looking at the nodes. You can upgrade your damage, you can upgrade your reload speed, basically every stat, the 4 stats on the weapons, you can upgrade via those nodes. And again, when you're done creating your weapon, you could save it as a blueprint. Okay, so we're done with that weapon. We're going to take it out here and see what we can do to these necromorphs and check it out. Let's hit the button over here, and here we go. We only have ammo capacity of 3 rounds. Wow. 3 rounds in our primary and 4 in our secondary. So not a whole lot. And look at how it takes these guys out. I mean, these necromorphs don't stand a chance. And this weapon is going to be probably, or hopefully, highly effective against your typical boss necromorphs. At least let's hope. So pretty kick-ass against the typical necromorph, but if you get into a group with a bunch of the smaller ones, the smaller necromorphs, as there's 10 or 15 or 20 at a time, then this may not be the appropriate weapon to use. So that's where you want to probably create complementary weapons for your 2 weapons that you can equip. So one here with the high damage, very low ammo capacity, very low fire rate, but then have a weapon such as we're going to create right now, and I'm going to fast forward it again here. So the second weapon that I want to craft here is going to focus more so on a fire rate or speed, and we're going to see just what kind of difference that can make. Again, you're obviously going to use much more ammo to take down a single necromorph, but it should be highly effective against groups of smaller necromorphs, but we'll see. The other thing you may want to consider when creating these weapons as well, I'm actually using the same lower tool as I am the upper tool, so this weapon for both the primary and the secondary fire is going to share the same ammo, and depending on the raw materials that are required for the ammo, you may not want to do that. You may want to have your secondary use a different type of ammunition than your primary, and it's all going to be dependent on what type of raw materials you can collect and what type of raw materials it requires to create the ammunition that you need. So check it out. Let's test this weapon on some of these necromorphs and see what kind of fire rate we get out of this thing. Oh yeah, machine gun, baby. Is that better? Is that worse or better than the RPD? Huh? Black Ops 2 RPD? Yeah, I think these weapons in Dead Space 3 put Black Ops 2 Zombies weapons to shame, especially with the primary and secondary fire. Oh yeah. I mean, it's almost 5 minutes before I have to reload this thing. Look at it, and did you see that reload? How the hell did it reload that fast? But then I empty out the secondary, and I actually have to do a physical reload. I don't know. So anyways, that's about it. Just wanted to give you a little bit of a taste for the weapon crafting in Dead Space 3. It looks to be pretty epic, and again, can't wait for this game to be released on February 5th. If you guys want in on the demo that's available starting today, January 15th, 2013, for Xbox Live only. Next week, January 22nd, 2013, will be available for everybody on Xbox Live and PS3. But if you want it today, before the 22nd, click the link in the description, alright guys? And you can sign up to get a demo code. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'm Spider and I'm out of here.